Hello everyone, this is Mochi, and I choose to elaborate more about Unit 6, Freight Management, and after doing some research about this chapter, I found out more about two different modes of shipping which are LTL and FTL. So let's get started with LTL. Less than truckload freight shipping, or LTL, is used for the transportation of small freight, or when freight doesn't require the use of an entire trailer. This shipping method can be used when freight weighs between 150 and 15,000 pounds. You can think of LTL shipping like rideshare for freight. Your freight shares space in the trailer with other shippers' cargo. The shipper is charged only for the area their cargo uses. This is called capacity sharing. And by using capacity sharing, shipping LTL freight reduces cost for shippers. There are several benefits to shipping LTL. First, it reduces cost. When booking an LTL shipment, you only pay for the portion of the trailer used. The rest of the cost is covered by the other occupants of the trailer space. Second, it's cost effective. Pricing agreements can be negotiated on an annual basis and offer accurate forecasting based on shipping trends. It's also easy to track because LTL shippers tend to use top-of-the-line tracking system, so they and their customers can monitor freight 24/7. LTL shipping also increases security. Most LTL shipments are packaged onto pallets before being loaded onto a truck. One well-packaged pallet has a better chance of remaining secure than shipments with multiple smaller handling units. LTL also has faster pickup times. When shipping with LTL, you gain access to special services like liftgates, inside pickup, and delivery. Typical LTL shipments can be picked up on the same day or next day, sometimes within just 2 hours, which is perfect for just-in-time manufacturers. Another benefit is transit times. LTL enables movements across the country to be completed in under a week. It is also environmentally friendly. LTL shipping limits the number of empty miles for carriers as trucks and trailers are packed to maximum capacity, reducing trips and unhealthy fuel emissions. This minimizes carbon footprints and is better for the environment. However, there are some disadvantages of LTL. Due to freight being handled several times throughout the shipping process, this increase in handling can lead to freight damages if the product is not well packaged. Also, partial loads are more expensive than the same volume of a full load. Partial loads also pose a greater organizational challenge for transport companies, who have to calculate the freight space precisely, coordinate the routes, and allow more time for loading and unloading. Waiting times can occur at each loading and unloading point, delaying the entire shipment. LTL is also split into two methods, which are consolidated LTL and hub-and-spoke LTL, or what they call traditional LTL. Consolidated shipping is a method of shipping where a consolidator combines individual LTL shipments from various shippers into one full container shipment. Participating in consolidated shipping earns the shipper preferred rates. During the process of consolidation, multiple LTL shipments from various shippers that are going to similar locations are combined at consolidation warehouses, and then are loaded into the same truck. From there, the freight will remain on one truck until they arrive at their ultimate destination. So shippers should use LTL freight consolidation service when they are shipping fragile goods. Since freight is loaded with other shippers' freight heading to a similar destination, the number of times it needs to be loaded and unloaded is gradually reduced compared to traditional LTL, decreasing the chance of damages, or if you have regular shipments headed in the same direction that are not too far apart. Also, if you have very precise delivery schedules that must be adhered to. Now let's move on to the second method. Hub and spoke. Hub and spoke is considered to be the traditional method for LTL delivery. With hub and spoke, your freight is picked up and taken to the local terminal, or spoke. Freights with similar destinations are combined on the same truck and transported to a larger regional distribution center, or hub, where the freight is transferred again. The process continues until the freight reaches the hub closest to its destination and then is delivered. The advantages of hub and spoke LTL is it has faster pickups. In most cases, LTL shipments can be picked up on the same or next day. This can be very advantageous for just-in-time shippers. They have more regular deliveries. With hub and spoke, LTL shipments are constantly on the move and never held in a warehouse, which results in multiple small deliveries instead of one consolidated shipment. Also, it is effective over short distance. However, because shipments are loaded and unloaded between multiple terminals, there's an increasing chance of damage. Therefore, it makes the most sense for shippers to use traditional LTL when they do not have a firm delivery schedule, or when their freight doesn't consist of any fragile materials, and when they have small and dense shipments. Now we're gonna move on to the other alternative shipping mode, FTL. Full truckload, or FTL, is a type of shipping mode whereby a truck carries one dedicated shipment. In other words, the journey is reserved for one shipment only. FTL shipping is commonly used for large shipments that require taking up the entire truck, or at least close to it. With FTL, your freight is the only freight moving on an individual truck, so you have exclusivity to the entire truck. The benefit of FTL is that it can save money on larger shipments. If you have enough freight to fill an entire trailer, FTL shipment will be the most efficient mode. It's less expensive to ship a single FTL when compared to splitting up the freight into multiple LTL shipments. Shipping with LTL also has lower risk of damage. Shipping a full truckload means that from start to finish, your freight will remain in the same trailer. This reduces the delivery procedure and gets rid of the dangers that could come from handling off LTL cargo to other trucks along the way. You can also ship the products faster because when shipping FTL, shipments get to the destination sooner as the truck is making no other pickups or drop-offs along the way. So to compare both of the shipping modes, FTL and LTL, in the cost aspect, if you can fill up and maximize the entire space given to you, then FTL shipping might turn out to be cheaper. This is especially true if the entire shipment is going to the same destination. LTL, on the other hand, is a low-cost method in almost all circumstances. This is due to the fact that you're paying on an as-needed basis. You also need to know that there's a difference in quoting LTL and FTL shipments. FTL is often quoted per mile, while LTL is quoted per weight and pallet space. Therefore, it might be prudent to get both LTL and FTL quotes from a broker and see where the savings are more significant. The timeline or how long it would take for your shipment to arrive is also an equally important factor. FTL is the fastest option, that's because the entire trailer is going to a single location. LTL, in contrast, may need to pass through a few hops before reaching its final destination. The carrier will also often need to consolidate and fill up the cargo capacity to maximize space and fuel. This, of course, takes a longer time. FTL might be costlier, but it can potentially save you down the line, especially if you need to ship time-sensitive items. On the other hand, if a small delay is acceptable, the lower cost of LTL is more advantageous. The best move, however, is to ask for exact timetables for both FTL and LTL shipping. This is the only way to truly see how long the actual shipping time is. Then correctly balance the need for a quick timetable versus lower cost. Thank you so much for listening.